What's up guys? So today we're gonna be reviewing the spells and relics for nature in the Genesis core set. So let's jump right into the first card, and here we have Dense Fog. All enemy characters become confused at the start of your next turn, become no longer confused. So this card's terrible. I've tried to play it in the past. It's a terrible stall because confused is okay. Confused is a mechanic that is present in a lot of cards with nature because they're typically overstated, so they need to have a downside, and that downside is confused. But comparing this to things like Deception with Sleep, this is much worse because they can still attack, and if you have nothing on the board, they still attack you directly. So for me, this has to be a 2-star card. Then we have Primal Guidance. Deals 2 damage to a random enemy creature and deals 3 if you have an Amazon. As you're gonna see, Amazons are gonna be one of the themes of nature, and this card can become super powerful if you have an Amazon. It's a 3 damage for 1 mana, even though it's random enemy creature, and you're gonna be seeing that pretty much every all nature spells except one are going to be doing damage to random enemy creatures, so you don't have targeted removals on the and to compensate for that, you're going to have more powerful creatures to be able to do trades. So with Primal Guidance, I'm going to have to put this in the 4-star category because if you pair it with an Amazon, it's super powerful. Next, in the 2 mana, we have Compost Charm, where you heal your god for 10, and if you have 8 cards, you add a random card to your hand. For 2 mana, healing 10 is okay. There's a 1 mana that heals 7, which is a better card, and this needs 8 cards specifically in your void to be able to give you the random card, nature card, while the other card that heals for 7 gives you a random nature card if you heal back to full, and that's much easier to control. So this card is definitely going to have to be 3 stars. It's not that great to be run in a lot of decks, but if you want some extra heal, then sure, go with it. Then we have Natural Selection. Target friendly creature gains an extra attack this turn and attacks a random enemy creature. Add a random nature card to your hand. This is good if you're running like super high health creatures and you want to be able to deal with the opponent. Other than that, there's not a lot of advantage of running this, so I'm gonna have to put this at 3 stars. Next, we have Syringe's Blessing. Syringe's Blessing gives each friendly creature gets regen +2, and this can be super powerful if you have creatures with a lot of health. If you have Marshwalkers, if you have Jaguars, if you have Aggrador Protector, and things like that, a lot of those creatures on the board, giving regen +2 to everything is generally a pretty powerful thing to do. The problem with nature is that you're gonna have to be running a lot of good creatures, and there's not gonna be a lot of space for spells. So unless the spells are super good or they fulfill a specific purpose like healing or dealing damage, these types of spells are typically not run in nature decks. So I'm gonna have to put this in the 3-star category. Next, we have Mark of the Warden, where at the end of the turn, creature can gain 1 strength or 1 health, and afterlife it adds a random nature card to your hand. There's a better card for this, which is going to be Spelling Boon. Mark of the Warden doesn't give you enough power to be able to be justified occupying that deck slot, so I'm gonna have to put this in the 3 star. It's okay if you want to run it, sure. Other than that, it's not great. Then Uproot is one of the cheapest removals you have with nature. It deals 8 damage to a random enemy creature, but also leaves the 2/2 on board. But the thing is, with nature, you typically only using these spells if they only have 1 creature, because you want to guarantee that you're hitting the big creature with the 8 damage. So this card's okay. It's not like amazing. I think Lightning Strike's better because it deals 8 damage. It deals 8 damage, and it doesn't leave anything on the board. But this card is okay, so I'm gonna also put it at 3 stars out of 5. Next, we're jumping on to 3 mana. Grassroots. Transform a random enemy creature into 0/5 overgrown golem with frontline and regen 5. I think this card is really bad, but I'm not gonna put it at 1 star because it still has some utility. The thing with this is that you can get because it's random, so you can get completely overrun with this. I've played this once where I've transformed a creature, like a gigantic creature, into a 0/5, and then after that, since I could not deal with the 0/5 right away, that has regen 5, he just filled his board with other creatures and I couldn't reach them. So this card is really bad because unless you're able to deal with it right away with one of your creatures, then it's super bad. So 3 stars. Next we have Aura's Eruption. Never seen anyone play this. Add 2 mana locks to both players' mana gems. This is basically stalling and you want to go back to lower bound. Death has the opposite type of mechanics where you're adding mana locks, you're unlocking mana locks for both gods, but I wouldn't see, because nature has typically overstarted cards in the early game, but the thing is spending 3 mana for that is fairly bad. So this is gonna have to be the 1-star card in this deck set. Oh, and then we have a relic here at 3 mana, which is a Vine Armor. Vine Armor, after you got is attack, deal 2 damage to the attacker. This card is super good. Even though it's not that great because it's not a direct removal, it's not going to help you if you're in a pinch. But if you have the advantage putting this on top of your gods, it becomes super good because then you're dealing 2 damage to the attackers, and most creatures are going to die in the early game, so because they have 2 health. And this card can remove like 3 creatures, for example, for 3 mana. That's amazing. So this card is definitely a 4-star card in this scenario. Next we have Druidic Summons. Summon 3/2 confused creature and into 3. This card is okay, it's not good, it's not bad. Even though it's giving you 5/5 worth of stats with confused, there's better options, and you can just, for 4 mana, you can just run a Rhino. It's gonna work much better for you. So this card is gonna be 3 stars. Not good, it's not bad, it's okay. Next we have Specialist Fort. As 3 random Amazons to your hand, your creatures are no longer confused. I'm gonna have to put this in the 2-star category, even though it might be super good to run in an Amazon type of deck. The problem with this is that nature, you're not gonna want to waste 5 mana. Since you don't have a lot of good removal spells, most of them are really bad, you're gonna want to use your mana wisely with really powerful creatures so that the opponent, they're hard for the opponent to deal with. So it's super rare that you're gonna have an opportunity to use this type of card, especially Force. And in that case, like here, it's gonna be 2 stars out of 5. And in the cases that you have the opportunity to you have the tempo advantage and you have the opportunity to run these types of cards, there's a much better card, which is going to be the next one, and that one is Swelling Boon, where at the end of your turn you gain a creature, the creature that you use this card on can gain 5 stats randomly split amongst health and strength. And this card, like, it's super good. Like, it can get out of hand super quick. If you have a free turn and you put this on one of your creatures, especially one that has, for example, regen, let's say for example Marshwalker, 2 turns afterwards the Marshwalker is going to be like a 6/6 or a 7/7, and that's like absolutely preposterous. So this card definitely goes into the 4-star category. In the 5 mana, 6 mana, we don't have any spells, and then in the 7 mana we have Nature Overgrown, the god card, which refreshes 2 mana, obliterates your void, and changes your power to cultivate. Cultivate's gonna give you a attack to 3 of your creatures. I think it's 1 attack. It's gonna give to 3 of your creatures. The problem with this is that this is the worst god card, and refreshing 2 mana is terrible. It doesn't clear the board, it doesn't do anything useful, and it costs 7 mana. So this card definitely has to go into the 2-star. It's not a 1-star because the Cultivate can be useful in like aggro decks, but it's definitely a 2-star card, and it's the worst. In my opinion, it's the worst God card there is right now in Gods Unchained. Next we have Photogenesis, and Photogenesis is an absolutely bonkers type of card. I'm gonna have to put this in the 5-star category. Because once you get to 7 mana, or even if you use a bag of tricks, you're gonna get 4 random nature cards and you're gonna refresh 6 mana. So you get 4 cards, you draw 4 cards, even though they're random, you draw 4 cards for 1 mana. And that's bonkers, man. It's absolutely crazy. So this definitely is a 5-star card, and if you don't have this, please get it. And that's it, guys. We finished with the 5-star card, the Photogenesis. That's gonna be a super good card, so if you don't have it, please get it. Anyways, guys, if you like this card review, make sure you smash that like button and answer the question in the description down below to participate in the giveaway. See you guys next time. Packs out. Bye bye.